4 months in prison at my age is effectively a death sentence.
Former Trump advisor Peter Navarro was sentenced to 4 months in prison and fined almost $10,000 after being held in contempt of Congress for refusing to comply with a subpoena from the January 6th committee. Now, this is a crime rarely prosecuted by the DOJ. Remember, Eric Holder, Lois Lerner, even in this case, former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, former Attorney General Bill Barr, and others. They were all held in contempt of Congress, never prosecuted. Joining us now for an exclusive interview, former Trump advisor Peter Navarro. First, Peter, both to you and Steve Bannon, I feel very sorry that you are being treated unfairly. This is what I talk about when I often discuss what I call a dual justice system. This is what the House Judiciary is looking into, whether they have weaponized the Department of Justice, whether they have politicized that Department of Justice. I believe they have. And I think your case and Steve Bannon's case, it's the embodiment of it. Hunter Biden defied the same subpoena. Why did he get a second chance?
Sean, if anybody thinks they're not trying to put Donald Trump in prison for 700 years, they just need to look at what they did to me yesterday. They're not messing around. 4 months in prison. They even want to put me in prison before I can have my appeal in this case. And they want Trump in prison and out of the Oval Office, and they want folks like me not to be able to help him out. And here's the thing. Here's what I'd ask your viewers to understand. It's not rare. I am the first senior White House advisor, what they call alter ego to the president, ever to be charged with this alleged crime. And the irony here, Sean, the irony is that the Department of Justice itself has maintained a policy for more than 50 years that says that senior advisors like me absolutely cannot be compelled to testify before Congress. Why? Because it violates the constitutional separation of powers and interferes with the ability of executive privilege to provide effective presidential decision-making. And that's where we stand right now. I have a great case that will go, and I've said from day one, Sean, day one, that this is going to the Supreme Court. It's what they call a case of first impressions that has significant constitutional issues. Can Congress compel senior aides to testify? The answer is no, according to DOJ policy. And then there's other issues related to that. It was just the oddest thing where Joe Biden himself intervened in this case to say that he can strip Donald Trump of executive privilege as soon as he assumes office, which is ludicrous. Brett Kavanaugh has already said that is ludicrous. So right. I appreciate you having me on, Sean, but I want folks to know if they can come after me, they can come after Trump, and they can come after you. And 4 months in prison at my age is effectively a death sentence if you look at the average lifespan in America. And it's just, this to me is why you got to elect Donald Trump in 2024 and get him into the Oval. Because as you've been eloquent about, Sean, our economy's in shambles, our border is in shambles, our enemies are upon us. And you, sir, have been following that. But when I was in the White House for 4 years, I was only one of 3 people who was there with the president the entire time. I helped him save hundreds of thousands of lives during the pandemic, hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs we created. And what do I get for that? I get prosecution for a crime nobody's ever been charged with, 4 months in prison, and now they even want to deny me my freedom while I appeal this case all the way up to the Supreme Court. So
that part
this
too
is yesterday
outrageous.
was not a good day for America. Not a good day for America, but they're coming after Trump. And if they can come after Trump, as he has said, he's just in the way, they'll come after you.
You see, one of the reasons and the legal argument that you're making is the president needs to have complete, unfiltered advice from the people around him. If
Correct.
the people around him believe they're going to be called before Congress and their emails are going to be gone through and their text messages gone through, they're never going to be able to give a president the straight, hardcore advice that a president may need in a very difficult situation. So I understand the legal principle completely. And I think I know you well enough to know that you were aware you could have gone in, you could have pled the fifth, and you could have walked out of there and you would have fulfilled your obligation. You decided not to. And I'm guessing, I don't know, because you wanted to take a stand on principle here.
I would not have fulfilled my obligation. My obligation was to the Constitution and to this country, and my oath of office, Sean. And my oath of office.
Well, that's what I meant. You were standing on principle.
To obey. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
no. I mean, I applaud you for it, but I feel terrible that you have been treated differently than Eric Holder, Lois Lerner, Hunter Biden, and even people involved in this particular case.
Yeah.
They were not treated the same way. That's not equal justice. That's not equal application of our laws. I'll give you the last word, Peter, and I'm sorry that you're going through this.
Well, I appreciate your sympathy and your sorrow, but that's not what I want right now, Sean. What I want is justice for the American people. I want Trump in the White House, not in prison. And I want my case to go to the Supreme Court and settle good law on one of the most important constitutional issues. So I'm here. Anytime you want to talk, you know where to find me. We do have to stop meeting like this in a way, but keep doing what you're doing, sir.